morning to the Merrimack Valley. Colonel Polton has authorized an official military flyover above WCAP to welcome us and you to the best hour in radio, the JMac and the Bear Show. The JMac and the Bear Show is brought to you by Sal's Pizza, Salvatore's Restaurants, and Riverwalk Properties. I'm John McDonald, along with the Bear, my co-host, George Zaharoulis. I encourage you to call in at 978-454-4980 and talk to us live on WCAP 980 AM, where everybody gets it. I'd also like to welcome our studio guest, John Sarro, Executive Director of Pentucket Medical Associates. Welcome, friends.
Good morning.
Today is our fourth show, a show where week to week we will discuss everything from local or national politics to let's take a bus with the Boston Red Sox.
Very good. Well, let's get right into it. It's time to develop some interesting discussion as we get started this morning, and it's time for our regular segment of Who or What is Poking the Bear. This week on Who or What is Poking the Bear.
Sun article dated February 21st about business groups backing community college reform. Who are these people to make statements that the community colleges in Massachusetts should be reformed? That, in my opinion, is a lot of baloney. Read the article. Was it the colleges or the red tape in our state government that created a hardship? It doesn't say it couldn't have been done.
John Golnik?
The article says it would not be easy to connect with the community colleges. Why? What does that mean? Did they get a better break from the state of Virginia? Did the business group meet with all the community college presidents to seek their input? What does this mean to us, the taxpayer? They talk about a coalition. That word alone sends a chill up my spine. It would seem the method of metric measures was not a fair reflection to measure performance of these colleges. This was clearly outlined by our local presidents. But again, we the taxpayers are going to foot the bill for an unneeded bottleneck within the educational system. Think of it as political posturing to create high-salary jobs for a few individuals as the governor leaves office. He places his people on the merge committee to perpetuate a political flow of patronage. Example, the community president has a plan to improve their area school. This merge committee may say that's a terrific idea. We will consider it. Oh, by the way, my Johnny and or my Mary needs a job. Do you think there will be room for him or her? Just think about it. Could this happen? This is my opinion. Call me if you do not agree or do agree. Thank you.
Well, I got to say, that was a heck of a segment, and I encourage anyone who's listening to please call in at 978-454-4980 and give us your comments on this subject or anything else that's on your mind. But I thought it was a very good piece, George. And, as far as losing that local flavor and losing a local board and leaders who really know the communities that they're serving, I find it to be a little bit troublesome that the governor's trying to push this through.
I agree. And the colleges themselves have done a fantastic job by contacting the local business people to find out exactly what their needs are. And they have their crew that goes out and will set up study groups or classroom procedures to put everybody on the cutting edge. It's so important that we have this personal touch, but to put another layer on top, especially a very expensive layer, because you know as well as I do that these individuals that are going to be leading the ship are going to have salaries at least the same as, if not more than, and I would say more than, the local presidents of these community colleges.
Which I think is an atrocity.
Absolutely, because each one of these people, if you start to look at them, the director or whoever's going to be president of these junior colleges is going to have an assistant. And along with the assistant, they're going to have legal advisors, accountants, and everything else that goes into the chamber. They're going to have an awful lot of people. So it becomes another institution that we as taxpayers have to provide funds for. And there's no money coming in against these individuals. And what more leadership are they going to give us other than, oh yeah, we'll give you some money? And that carrot that the governor dangled out there, $10 million, certainly, it's a carrot.
Yeah, and I equate it to a lot of things that, local leadership versus national leadership, or local influence versus national influence. For instance, John, at Pentucket Medical, you're part of the Partners healthcare system, but the Pentucket Medical Associates is that local brand, the local service. I mean, you guys give a personal touch. I mean, it's essentially the same type of concept. Without you, they really wouldn't. Partners Healthcare wouldn't understand the needs of the local community. Would you disagree or agree?
No, that's absolutely true. We reflect the needs of the community that we serve. Partners is a great organization. We're proud to be part of it, but they don't understand the local community and its needs, its medical care needs. And so we're able to bring that to them. Right. And tell them these are the things we need to do. These are the number of doctors we need, the support staff we need to service the people that in our area, our service area.
Yeah, and I think it's essential, and in particular when you talk about the community college. And ladies and gentlemen, I failed this morning to recognize our studio mastermind, wireless Mike Flynn. If he wants to comment on this, it just looks like he just got a phone call. But I'm sure Mike's got a perspective on this. But it equates to even local radio. Without that local pulse or local flavor as to what's going on in the community, how do you really know? How do you know how to best serve your community unless there's a local touch? And that's why I think that this idea I hope falls flat on its heels. I don't know if any of you had the opportunity to, which I know you did, have a donut from Coffee Can Cafe this morning.
Fantastic.
Unbelievable. Coffee Can Cafe. They're located at Riverwalk Properties in Lawrence. And I got to tell you, probably the best donuts I have had in a long time. And I don't go out and get donuts very often. When I do, because these were superior. I had a French cruller. It was unbelievable. But that leads us into our next guest and friend of WCAP. He's now a Republican candidate for United States Congress. Ladies and gentlemen of WCAP listening audience, I welcome to the program Mr. John Golnik.
Hello, how are you?
Well, welcome to the JMac and the Bear Show.
Hey, John.
I like it. I like the name. Very, very good branding. Very good. I like it.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much. And John, just before you get started, just to let you know that your segment is brought to the listening audience of WCAP by Nina and Jack's Hair and Nail Salon. They're located on the Lowell Chelmsford line at Eastgate Plaza in Chelmsford. They're right above the Sal's Pizza at 296 Chelmsford Street. I believe my oldest daughter, Shannon, is getting her hair cut there today. So a special shout out to our friends at Nina and Jack's. Jack Silva. Hello, Jack. And John, tell us why you're running for United States Congress this time around.
Well, I ran in 2010, and I'm back at it again because, one, I don't get discouraged easy, and also because I'm really concerned about the direction of the country. We've been told we need to live within our means, and the federal government is doing exactly the opposite. To me, someone asked me the other day what the three biggest issues are, and I said jobs, jobs, and jobs, and not necessarily in that order. So, look, if you don't, everything springs from jobs and having a wage that can allow you to live, put money in the bank, food on the table, and maybe hopefully put a little money away for your kids' college and even your retirement. So jobs aren't created by the public sector, and I hate to disagree with the administration on that, but they don't. And we need to empower this private sector and reinvigorate it, lowering corporate taxes and putting a moratorium on these regulations that are just burdening small businesses as well, which, John, I'm sure you can appreciate working at sales. Some of the hoops you have to jump through.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And John, I know you've been out there working hard. You announced some time ago. You've been really putting a lot of feet on the pavement. Can you tell us a little bit about the signature drive and where you guys stand as far as signatures?
Well, the signature drive, it's amazing when you get to do something the second time around. We're lucky because when you get to do something the second time around, you do things differently. But also, it is easier from a political organization perspective. So we've been very, very lucky. The 3rd district has 26 of the old 5th district towns and 11 new towns. Wow. So when I announced back in December, it allowed me to focus on these 11 new cities and towns we've added. But we have clipboards out across the district. We have town captains in every town. And I'll be honest with you, we have more than enough raw signatures now. We're going to be collecting them on Monday to take them down to the town clerk's office and get them certified and see where we stand. But we like doing the signatures. It helps us build an organization. It gets people excited. It gets our name out there. And I'm really humbled. I've got an awful lot of people who are willing to go out on days like today and stand out and ask people to sign to get us on the ballot. So it's very humbling, and I can't thank people enough for all the help they're giving me.
Well, I think that's great. I think that you've generated a lot of excitement, at least from what I hear in the local community. Although I found interesting, there was an article I think in yesterday's Sun that I understand that you might be having some competition on the Republican side. Another person who ran last time in the primary, Mr. Tom Weaver.
Yep, Tom. Looks like Tom is running, and look, he's a worthy opponent. I think the choice is good. It's very American, so the voters are going to have a choice in the primary, and we won last time. I think we did so. I came from a town, John, that was of the four primary candidates that was the smallest by a large margin. I come from Carlisle, less than 5,000 people, and my primary opponents came from towns 20,000, 30,000. And 60,000 towns. So we won. I think we won because we did two things. One, we raised the money, and you can't shake the hands of the thousands of people that you need to win the race. So you need to raise money to project your message, and you know that, and
yep.
you having run for city council. But also we worked harder. I mean, we worked very, very hard, and we all like to think we work hard, and I don't think anybody will outwork me, and I think that my campaign is a dress rehearsal for the type of legislator I'll be in. Anybody, whether they supported me or didn't, certainly couldn't say that I wasn't a hard worker. So
yeah.
We're just going to keep doing what we do. We do have some a good announcement, a very exciting announcement to make today. We're going to be releasing a press release. Senator Brown has endorsed us.
Wow! Well, congratulations.
This is it is being broken on your show.
Oh, thank you very much.
First people to tell, and we will be press release will be going out within the next couple hours about that. So,
well, John, I think that's fantastic news. We actually had a special visit yesterday by Senator Brown at Salvatore's. He came in and introduced himself to everybody in the restaurant. I found him to be very met him before, but even more so this time around. He was a very engaging individual who really, not only did he want to meet customers, he made his way into the back of the kitchen and introduced himself to all our cooks and staff, and they were all very excited. And I think that's an incredible endorsement of the type of candidate that you are. And congratulations. I'm also interested in the fact that you've been endorsed by two of your other former competitors as well. I think Sam Meese has supported you or has endorsed you, as well as Bob Shapiro. Is that correct?
That's right. That's right. So, I mean, if people remember from my last campaign, they might or they might not, but, I really try to create, we talk about liberal Republicans, moderate Republicans, conservative Republicans. I'm a Republican, and I'm a John Golnik Republican, and I differ than any other Republican, but we're a big tent. So yeah. I try to bring a lot of different people under the umbrella of this campaign, and we've got a great leadership team. We've got Governor Cellucci, who's the honorary chair of our campaign, and he's always stuck with me because he said, John, politics is about addition, not about subtraction. And I've really always took that to heart. So, I've got a couple of former mayoral candidates up from Methuen. One of them is Ken Willett. And, Ken was recently a Democrat, and he's changed his registration to I believe a Republican. And he's helping us out up there. We've got a bunch of people out of Haverhill, Bill Ryan being one of them. We've got Mark LaPlante out of Lawrence. We just picked up Brian McMahon the other day, who's the former Lowell police detective, but works for the New England Benevolent Order of the Police.
Wow, that's incredible, John. That's incredible. I tell you, you're doing a great job, and we're really you're adding some fire and enthusiasm. Can you tell our listeners on WCAP how they can learn more about you and your campaign if they want to?
Well, by all means. I mean, I would encourage everyone to go to my website, and that's www.johngolnik.com.